One day while on a day trip, Sandra and I was visiting the Bunker Hill Covered Bridge in Catawba County. We noticed a peculiar looking symbol with a sign that read Carolina Thread Trail just underneath it. Now, being an avid hiker, I looked into it and learned that it was a regional network of connected greenways, trailways, and blueways that reaches 15 counties in 2 states, and that it was still growing with new trails being added. I had always wanted Sandra to hike with me and thought that this may be just the thing, so after looking at the website, we both set out to complete every single thread trail. So grab your gear and come along with us as we set out to hike or paddle every thread trail and learn with us about the history, the geology, and people of these areas. I'm sure there will never be a dull moment. God, look at this.
I'm scared.
I thought there was a rock behind me.
Looks like this might be bear tracks.
The Salisbury Greenway provides connections between recreational areas, parks, and natural areas. Through its construction of the Greenway, the Salisbury Parks and Recreational Department fulfills its mission to provide quality leisure services through safe, attractively maintained parks and diversified programs that meet the current and future needs of the community. The Forest Hill Park, located along the Greenway, is a 9.4-acre park that is conveniently located and provides a greenway connector between Memorial Park and Knox Middle and Overton Elementary Schools. The connector features an attractive bridge with inviting walking and sitting areas. Kelsey Park is an additional destination along the Greenway. There is a railroad bridge that dates back to 1856, a softball field, 2 basketball courts, and a 9-hole disc golf course in the 21.7-acre park. Greenways like the one in Salisbury allow us to move in communities and provide for the more active and environmentally conscientious population that we see emerging. The city of Salisbury is well on its way to achieving this goal, but still has a few sections that still need to be completed in order to finish the loop, such as the connection between Prescott Drive and Grants Creek section, which will also connect back to Kelsey Scott Park. The length of the trail is 4.9 miles one way. Hours of operation are daylight hours, which is dawn to dusk. Okay, now it's time for me to give you an overview on how I did this particular trail. If you'll notice here on the map, you'll see where my mouse is, here's a trailhead marker that they're showing here, and here's a trailhead marker that they're showing here. And so now, it just doesn't seem efficient in the way that they have these trailheads here. Not unless you're going to start here and then go all the way down to where it says finish and maybe come back up. And so there's going to be a tremendous amount of backtracking on these trails to do this entire trail. So I'm going to show you the way I did it. And so where you see the start and where you see the finish is the way that I did it that seemed to make it more efficient. Now, let me just say this, that Salisbury is extremely historic. There's a lot of history in this area, but also we're known for the Cheerwine Festival. The Cheerwine Festival. Now, this picture that you're seeing on the screen here is for the one that is going to be set up for this year, May 16th, 2020. And so I will have a link in the description below if you want to go right to this. And they will show you this. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a really big thing for Salisbury. I think this is the 3rd one they've had in Salisbury. And last year, they had Smash Mouth. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Smash Mouth, but they came and did a concert during the Cheerwine Festival, and it was outstanding. I went to it along with my family, and we had a blast, and they did an awesome job. And so, but you know, this is one of the big drives. I mean, we're a Cheerwine. This is where Cheerwine started at, and so it's a big thing. And so if you get a chance, an opportunity, if you want to check it out, please come and see this. you won't be sorry you did, and grab you a bottle of Cheerwine. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to zero in on some close-ups on this map. That way you can see exactly how I did this. And so what we're going to do is, if you'll look at the screen, this area, I'm going to take my mouse hat. This is the area where my wife dropped me off. And it's basically at Statesville Boulevard, and then you got Meadowbrook Road, and then you'll take a right on Forestdale. So you're real close to Catawba College area, if you're familiar with the Catawba College area. But just remember, Statesville Boulevard, go to Meadowbrook Road, and then when you turn on Meadowbrook Road from Statesville Boulevard, you're going to make an immediate right on Forestdale and take that all the way to where it dead ends at, and you can enter the trail there. That's where I started at. And so what I did is I went up this trail, and you got Grant's Creek that runs right beside of it, but I started on this trail and I went all the way up, and you'll see that the highlighted area ends. And so I'm not really sure if this is the particular area that they're talking about, because you got Prescott Drive on the other side, and then you got this Grants Creek area. I'm not for sure if maybe they're wanting to make the trail kind of cut through here, go across the road, and kind of connect that way. I'm not sure if that's what they're meaning, but I'm going to tell you right now, it really wouldn't hurt them if they would continue this trail, because this trail continues all the way up to Hogan's Valley Way. That's where it ends up at. And then they could take a right. This is what I did. I went all the way to Hogan's Valley Way, and then I went to West Ennis Street, and then I made a left. As soon as I made a left, I made a right on Sells Road. So that's the way I did this. I went from where I entered in at, over here at Forestdale, to Hogan's Valley, West Ennis Street. I made a left, and then I made a right on Sells Road, and then I continued up to Windsor Drive. Now, when I made a right on Windsor Drive, I made another right on Idlewood Drive, and I took that all the way to Prescott. Now, Prescott, where Prescott and Idlewood meet, that's where the trail picks up. And so that seems to be the best, more efficient way of doing this trail. And then from there, I continued on down Prescott, and then the trail picked up on the right-hand side, and then that's where you're going to see this covered bridge at, which is really neat. But going on down, it's going to take you all the way to Overton and Knox School on that trail, all the way down to Mahaley Road. Now, it's going to, up here at the top right-hand corner where my mouse is, that trail where I just showed you where those two schools were at, it's going to take you all the way to Mahaley Avenue, which at that point, you're going to make a left, and you can actually see where the trail enters at. And so you're going to make that right, and you're going to take it, you're going to go through that park. And so when you go through that park, Forest Hill Park, it's going to take you all the way to Grove Street. Now, where you see this circle, this great big red circle at, we're going to zero in on that, because I want to show you some different ways that you could do this other than what they're showing here. So let's go ahead and let me zero in on this. And so here I've blown it up for you. Here's Grove Street. You're going to go across the street on Grove Street. Now they're showing you taking this trail. You see right here, there's a whole lot of different paths you can take in this one Memorial Park Cemetery. But what I did is I came in and I went on the Memorial Park loop here, and what I did is I made a left and came around. You'll see a pond here, you'll see it in the video, and then I came all the way back around and made just a big circle. So if you want to make the hike a little longer, you could do it that way, or you could just do it the way they have it here. Either way, you're still going through this Memorial Park Cemetery. But what you're going to do is it's going to take you back on West Ennis Street, and you're going to make a left. When you make that left, you're going to keep on going straight, and you're actually going to go underneath a bridge. Now, what I did is I'm going forward on the map here, and I've got it minused out so we can see more of a bigger area. But you look at my mouse here, you're coming from that Memorial Park area this way, and you're gonna see me show Dairy Queen, a Dairy Queen store. Well, right across the street from the Dairy Queen store is Institute Street. That's where that trail goes. The trail goes right down Institute Street, which is just a neighborhood, and you're going to walk down Institute Street until you hit West Hoorah Street. Now, if you keep going straight on Institute Street, you're going to run into Livingston College. So what I did is I made a right on West Hoorah Street. If you'll notice, that's where that trail just keeps on going. Just keep straight on West Hoorah Street. And what you're going to do here, notice at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen where my mouse is, I came up, and then I went across Brenner Avenue. That's Brenner Avenue. Now, if you make a right here on Brenner Avenue, it's going to take you to the VA hospital in Salisbury. But just keep going straight across Brenner Avenue, and West Hoorah Street just keeps on going. It just keeps on going, and that is going to take you all the way to Kelsey Scott Park is where that's going to take you at. And if you notice here, the trail keeps going and it just dead ends right here. Well, right here is where you're going to see that railroad bridge that dates back to 1856. And so really neat. There's some graffiti underneath it, but it's big. That's a great big old bridge. But what you'll do is you'll come back out, and you can hang around at the park if you want to. They got some porta-johns if you need to use the restroom, and then you can come back out, and then you'll be at Old Wilkesboro Road. Now, at Old Wilkesboro Road, you're basically going to cross the road, and then that trail is going to pick up. You'll see the entrance of it. There'll be a big billboard with some information on it. You're going to take Old Wilkesboro Road all the way. If you notice my mouse here, Old Wilkesboro Road is going to go all the way to Milford Hills Road. And you'll see, again, there'll be like a billboard, a place that you can park at, but it's going to dead end. You won't be able to get on Jake Alexander Boulevard from here, but it's going to dead end there. And what I did is from there, I walked all the way from there to Harris Teeter. Now, what happened is during that morning, this morning of this hike here, I parked my car here and had my wife drop me off up there at Forestdale. So she had to go to work. She couldn't take this hike with me. And what I did is after I did the hike, I just hiked all the way down and walked over to Harris Teeter, got in my car and left. And so that way I didn't have to backtrack all the way up. And that would have been about a 10-mile hike. And so, which, I've done those type of hikes before, but just to make it more efficient, I just did it that way. And so, but guys, that is the way that I did this hike, and that is the way that I would advise you guys to do the hike if you want to make it more efficient. Now, you could do it the same way that I did it, but just start at the bottom and go all the way up if you wanted to do it that way. And so, but if you wanted to like get you something to eat at the very end, you would, if you do it this way here, there's going to be lots of little restaurants that you can get yourself something to eat. And what I did is I had to stop by the grocery store, so I went to Harris Teeter, and I picked up some baked chicken and took it home, and I ate it. And I was hungry after this hike. And so, but this was a very good hike. And like I said, it's, I'd say, an easy 5 miles the way I did it. And so, but it's a good hike, good brisk hike. You're in the city. And so you're not in the country. There are some trails there. You'll see them on the video where you go through some wooded areas. But you're more of in neighborhood type areas is what you're going to see. And so, if there was, a chance that you wanted to make the trail a little bit shorter, you could park in any one of those businesses along the way to where I ended up at, and you could park your car there and just make it a shorter hike. And so that's the beauty of this setup here. And so, but at any rate, let's go ahead and let's get started with the hike just after my wife dropped me off early that morning. I've been standing here for about 10 minutes. I'm about 45 minutes too early. From what the sign says here, that the hours are from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And so I'm probably going to go ahead and get started anyway, or somebody may call on me being here. Surely if they see me with my day pack here, they know that I'm going to do a hike. But still, you know, there's a number of homeless people around Salisbury that also have backpacks or day packs, and so it doesn't really mean much. They might think I'm a homeless person just loitering, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started here any rate. This is one of those book, take a book, give a book. It says up here it's a little free library, and they have all types of books in here you can get if you just want to take one and, you know, leave one behind. These are neat. I've seen them all around different towns and stuff like that. They've become quite popular. I saw one time that looked like Doctor Who's, that little telephone booth that Doctor Who got in and went through time. I saw one like that in Kannapolis on West State Street. I want to show you something too here. This must be Grant's Creek. A little sandy area here. I can see what appears to be raccoon tracks in it. I want to check this out. They definitely have a drainage problem on this area. At one point in time, it definitely covered the whole trail here. But it won't be too much longer and the mosquitoes are going to be rocking. Wow. That was a nice hike right there. I mean, I came from Forestdale up to Hogan's Valley, and I'm going to be going that direction to where West End Street is, or 601. But that was a good little hike. I mean, if you was to, take your dog on a walk, if you was to walk down it and back up, I mean, that'd be a nice little brisk walk. Hank the chicken is wanting to cross the road. Here he comes. What did the chicken do when he crossed the road? He wanting to play. Okay, I'm at Prescott now. This is the reason why I had to take that one route I was telling you about, is because this is where the trail actually picks up, and I'm going to be going this direction here, but it dead ends. And so I think the route I just took to get to here is where they really should have the Carolina Thread Trail going. Again, more efficient, more fluent, but that's okay. It's still gonna be done. And so let's head on. Okay, after on Prescott, you'll pass Norwood Avenue, and to the right will be the entrance back onto the trail. And so I am on it even as we speak. And so let's see where this takes us. Okay, I came up on this covered bridge here, and I swear, all the years I've lived here, I'd had no idea that this was here. And so I'm not sure how long this has been here, but here is the overlook. This is really a nice hike, and I've seen lots of people running and stuff like that, jogging, riding bicycles. Really nice covered bridge. Okay, I came from that direction right there, West Park, and I thought I was gonna go actually on a road, but this trail actually picks up right here and it keeps on going. I don't know if you can hear that train in the distance. All right, that's the direction I came from. And Mahaley Avenue is just beyond that. Then there's a bridge, and this playground here brings back so many memories for me. I mean, not a bunch of memories, but there's one memory in particular that I'll share with you. We were living in some apartments over off of Woodson Street. It's literally just walking distance from here. It used to be called Forest Village Apartments, and I was outside and playing in the pool. They had a pool out there, and I don't know, my mom and I got into a big argument, and I ran away from home, and all I had on was just my shorts, and that was it. No shirt, no shoes, and I took off, and I came to this park here. And now, when I say run away from home, it was basically until I got hungry and needed to come back home. But I came here, and my brother came out here, and I told him, I said, I need you to get me some shoes. And he didn't want to do it because he didn't want to get in any trouble. But he snuck me some shoes out and brought them to me here, and I put them on, and I ended up meeting a guy that I went to high school with. And he said, well, you want to go to the flea market, Webb Road Flea Market? And so we went to the Webb Road Flea Market, and the Joker took off without me. And now the Webb Road Flea Market to here is a nice long walk. I mean, miles and miles and miles and miles. And I had to walk from the Webb Road Flea Market all the way back here to Woodson Street, and with nothing on but just a pair of shorts and shoes. That's it. And my legs were definitely sore by the time I got here. But I look back on that now to where we're at today, and I was so lucky I didn't get picked up. And so somebody could have picked me up, and the Webb Road Flea Market is just right there at the interstate, and they could have taken me, and that'd been the end of me. And so, but yeah, this playground here, I hung out here for the longest time after I took off, and I came back. It was darn near dusk, and of course I got grounded. And but at any rate, that's just thought you'd like to hear that story. Okay, we're at Grove Street, and of course there is the playground that I told you the interesting story. You just cross the street, and they got a nice sign here telling you to keep on doing it. And here it kind of splits off, so I'm assuming, and you know what happens when you start assuming, but that I'm gonna go this way to the left. It just seems to be the way, but I could go this way and shortcut right on West Ennis Street, but this is that cemetery. Actually, This must circle around or something, because it's got a arrow pointing that way, so maybe it just makes a big, it kind of goes around and then comes back around. Let's do it like that, if that's what it says. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this. See those bubbles right here? I have no clue what that is. Well, it just stopped. I don't know if I got that in the video or not, but I have no clue. I just started to walk towards it and it stopped. I have no idea. That's weird. Maybe it's the Loch Ness Monster's cousin. There was a bunch of bubbles coming up right there. I don't know. We'll leave the mystery. The Dairy Queen store. I'm right across from Institute Street. Right there is where I got to enter in. And that will take me down to West Hoorah Street, where I'll continue on. But this Dairy Queen has been open for a very long time. They say 1950. And so a lot of people have come here to get an ice cream. And so really neat place. If you're ever in the area, check them out. Okay, I'm at the end of West Hoorah Street. I come from that direction. I'm gonna cross over here and I'm to keep on going this way, just like that. And that's supposed to swing me around, and I'm getting about to the end of this thing. Okay, I'm supposed to go straight. Here is another cemetery that I came up on, which reminds me, I believe it was the Hoorah Street, somewhere in that vicinity. I didn't see it, or I just overlooked it. They had found some graves. I think when they were putting in some new apartments on Brenner, and I think that's when they found these graves. I want to say that these might have been graves of slaves at the period, and the slaves took the names of their masters, and but they weren't educated people, and so they didn't know how to spell real good, and so when they made the graves, the tombstones, they had misspelled Hoorah. And if I see those, I will show those to you. But if I got my story right, that's what happened. And they didn't mess with the graves. They didn't disturb them. And they put a fence around it. They put a fence around those graves. It's not like it's a whole bunch of them. It's just a few of them. But they found them. Nobody even knew anything about them. They were in some woods. And so, it was just, part of the history of the area. I'm gonna have me a Cliff Bar, peanut butter and honey with sea salt. This is good. You need to try you some of that. But this is where I'm gonna be heading after I take a break. I didn't, all the times I've drove past this area, I never knew that there was a bridge or a tunnel or whatever that is over here. I can't wait to see that. But this is also on the map is noted as being a trailhead, and so there ought to be a post somewhere near here, and so I will try to find that and take a picture, or at least video it or something and show you. But this is just been a great day for the hike. Not a lot of sun. The past two hikes I've gotten a little bit of sun, skin turning red and all that. But this has been a great day for hiking, and not too hot, not too cold, just right. And so, but I'm gonna head over there after I have me a little snack and see what that is. And it looks like there might be some graffiti also painted on the walls, and so if so, I'll take some pictures of that, and we'll have that to show. But after that, I'm gonna go back this way, and we'll be taking probably the last leg of this hike. Now, this is interesting. Well, this is definitely the end of this little, on the map, it's that part that kind of breaks away and kind of hooks up. That's where this is. Wow. Ugh. That's what it looks like. Right over there is where I gotta go. I'm still at the park. That's where the entrance is, on that last part that gets me back to where I parked at. They're showing this to be the trailhead, or a trailhead, and I don't see one of those markers, the post with the emblem on top of it, or just a 4x4 post with it just saying Carolina Thread Trail. I don't see it. They don't have one out here unless somebody took it. And so, which very well could have happened. And so, but I am not seeing it. Y'all see it? Usually it would be right around here, not unless it's over here. That's a possibility, but they had it marked here at the park though. And so I'm not sure. Okay, this is the Kelsey Scott Park. I couldn't read it on the map. It was getting part of the name. I thought it was Kersey at first, but it's the Kelsey Scott Park. Right here at Old Wilkesboro Road, 1920 Old Wilkesboro Road in Salisbury. And if I remember correctly, those are dorms for Livingston College. And so if you keep straight on this road, you'll cross over Brenner Avenue, and you just keep going straight and you'll run straight into Livingston College. So what I'm gonna do is, let's see if we can find that post over here. I like to always get a picture of the post. And still not seeing it. This right here is a business, but there's the trail right here, that paved area. I don't see it. Not seeing it. Okay, I'm coming to the end of it. I came from that direction, and that goes straight to Old Wilkesboro Road. And so once I get to the end here, those cars, where you see those cars are coming and going, that's Jake Alexander Boulevard. If you go to the right, this way, you're going to head towards 601. You're going to head towards Salisbury Mall area. And And if you go this way, that's where I'm parked at. There's Zaxby's. And then right beside of Zaxby's is Jimmy Clean. As far as I'm concerned, probably the one of the best car washes around. And then beside of that, you got Brenner Avenue. If we keep going straight here, I'm gonna run right into Brenner Avenue. I'll cross the street, and then Harris Teeter parking lot is there. And that's where I'm parked at. And so, I hope you have enjoyed the video. Once I leave, if I can find those graves that I was talking about, I will. I may have to come to it at a later date. I hate that. I'd like to. It has such a historical significance, and I'm glad they didn't disturb those. It's from a different period, a different time, and it is set there as a reminder of what the past was, and is no more. And so, but you learn so many things. And again, y'all, I live in Rowan County, and I've already have learned so much in my own area, and I didn't even have to leave it. I mean, we've spent so much money and time trying to quote unquote get away, when there's so much rich history and rich trails in and of our backyard. And